What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 24 online CFM game. We are now in week 7 of the 2026 season here in the Premier Madden League. Our Los Angeles Rams are coming off of a chaotic outing last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. The fake field goal on the final play of the game for our Rams did not work out as envisioned, and thus we took our first loss of the season. We'll look to bounce back today against the Dallas Cowboys in a matchup that will feature 2 of the top CJs in the NFL, as well as 2 of the top rookie running backs in the league, CJ Baxter of the Dallas Cowboys and CJ Donaldson of our Los Angeles Rams. Lost in all the madness of last week's finish, we did indeed get the dev story accomplished for CJ Donaldson, so he is now superstar dev. Now, we didn't really get any good abilities for CJ. We got balance beam, which is completely useless, and second wind, which is decent. It's a stamina ability. It'll help us keep CJ on the field more, but it's not really anything special. But we did get the dev story, so that is a bright spot to take away from a loss last week. And of course, we are suffering a couple of losses as far as the injuries heading into this game. We have one more game without Jalen Henderson. We're going to be starting Sam Howell over the rookie Robbie Ashford. Defensively, we're missing Aaron Donald. That's obviously a big hole. Here we go. We are underway. Week 7 action at SoFi Stadium. It's a rematch of last year's NFC wildcard matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. In that playoff matchup, our Rams trounced the Dallas Cowboys, and Dallas is not really doing much better since that game. They're all to a 1-5 start this season, and they're looking for a season-saving victory this week. Third down, they just want to get a first down, and that's not going to happen. Devon Jackson taking away the RPO bubble, a yard short of the first down. This is a fake punt. Oh, wow. After the ending of last week, yeah, why not? A fake on special teams, and just like for our Rams, yeah, it doesn't work out for the Dallas Cowboys. They couldn't get a yard, and they turn it over. We have fantastic field position. Sam Howell delivering to the now superstar back, CJ Donaldson, down to the 3 and down on the ground and injured. Oh, there's no way. We can't suffer any more injuries. Donaldson's out. Merritt is in. Julian Fleming is scoring a touchdown. Easy on the RPO bubble. Fleming walking in for 6. And Sam Howell, I mean, hey, man, we're not asking him to do too much, but that's the same MO we had last week when we started Robbie Ashford. It was just like, look, Robbie, we're making the game easy for you. You just got to make some throws, hit some drags. He couldn't do that, so now instead of our second-round rookie, we are going to go to the veteran Sam Howell. Thankfully, CJ Donaldson is not injured. He is a high risk to return, so we're not going to rush that. We have Nick Chubb, we have Antonio Gibson, we have Kirk Merritt. We can live without CJ Donaldson, and, it's not the dev story week, so, he wants to get a little bit of a breather. That is fine by us. Second down, that's picked off! Row your boat gently into the end zone. Torrance with the theft. Oh, wow. Riley Leonard's regretting that one. The RPO bubble that worked out well for us ends up in flames for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's a quick 14-0 lead after the PAT less than 3 minutes into the action. And for the Dallas Cowboys, this is more of the same for them. They're like, man, we were 1-5 entering this game, and we're finding out why rather quickly. And of course, it's our job to continue to deflate the Cowboys' morale, as that's our kicker. That's Chase McLaughlin injured. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but that is definitely something to monitor. The all-pro kicker, he's banged up, I suppose. That's nearly intercepted. Azariah Thomas nearly catching the overthrow, as McLaughlin is all right to return, bruised ribs, and we're not going to rush him back. In the meantime, third down, Riley Leonard picked off again. This time, Foyesea Lucon, he's in for the touchdown. Riley Leonard with back-to-back pick sixes. Lucon doing his dance, and it's all Rams all day here at SoFi Stadium. 2-point conversion is good. Terry McLaurin, RPO working out in our favor. And I guess that's part of the difference. We're able to execute RPOs. The Cowboys are not. And of course, we went for the 2-point conversion because Chase McLaughlin is injured and he's not out of the blue medical tent just yet, as trying to force a fumble on a kickoff, which is something we've done a couple of times this season already. Our special teams unit proving to be a bright spot for what is a pretty talented Rams roster. Blitz incoming. Leonard got it off, and he got it to Tony Pollard for the first down. Maybe just one completion can get Riley Leonard out of his own head, but more than anything else, the Dallas Cowboys need C.J. Baxter. As impressive, as important as C.J. Donaldson has been for our Los Angeles Rams, Baxter has been equal that value for the Cowboys. And even though they're 1-5, you know, it's not because of C.J. Baxter, as you see with their quarterback play. Their defense, it's about everything else besides the X-Factor rookie is Tony Pollard in for the game, and Pollard right back out for the on-fire Baxter, who should have an easier outing against Aaron Donald, but so far struggling for running space. Third down outside. That is hauled in by Shoemaker. And, I mean, Kobe Durant probably could have been in a better position. Definitely would have been in a spot to get a pick right there. Instead, he gives up the first down. Baxter outside. He spins away momentarily, still keeping his balance. And Rayshon Benny with some good hustle. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown as Baxter trying to claw his way in, trying to put the team on his back. First down, Leonard in a heap of trouble as Brian Burns was not letting him get away. Second down, C.J. Baxter in for the Cowboys score. Dallas is on the board, and finally they can put out some of the flames after this disastrous start to the game for the Dallas Cowboys. But we'll have to see if their defense can get into the game. And even then, Dallas really had to work hard for that 13-play touchdown drive, which is advantageous for us. We want the Cowboys to work that hard. And it's like, look, if you work that hard and you get 7 every time, that is cool. I'm just going to bet against you probably not being able to finish drives like that off more often than not. We have put Sam Howell in a pretty good position, up by 15, defense playing well. Just no silly mistakes. Third down, need a yard. Howell on point and on target. That is C.J. Donaldson. He's back in the game. He makes the catch. Fleming, goodbye. Julian Fleming flying in for 6. He made it look easy, and Sam Howell put it on the money. Hey, man, I don't want to be saying dead taxes and overthrowing Julian Fleming. How about we just put it on target when the guy is wide open every once in a while, yeah? Because when we do that, this is what happens. We score a quick touchdown, and, I mean, look, Dallas worked so hard for their touchdown. The fact that we got it so easy. Now, that third down conversion, we had to work for that one, but otherwise, you just press the square button, and Julian Fleming is gone. Now the Cowboys back to square one. They got to do it all over again. And C.J. Baxter, he's going to be exhausted by the end of this one. He's going to need an ice bath as he walks out of the stadium, going into the locker room for halftime. Forget about the rest of the game, as CeeDee Lamb is out for this third down. Riley Leonard got to go elsewhere. He does. He finds Elijah Moore for the first down, and that was my bad right there. That was my spot with the user defender. Wasn't able to make the play. Now the drive lives on. Rayshon Benny trying to make sure the drive doesn't live on for much longer. CeeDee Lamb is all right to return. Got to expect he'll be back in the game as soon as he possibly can, as Baxter's on fire. He's got that truzz, but it's not really making much of an impact besides the fact that he's not fumbling. Third down, middle of the field, nearly intercepted by Bo Braid. Oh man, Bo Braid is missing out on some opportunities to get interceptions this year, but you gotta love the fact that he's in the right places to at least get a hand on the ball and force incompletions at the very least. But I mean, would definitely be a much better individual season if we could haul some of those in. Nonetheless, we forced the punt. I think Dallas is done with fake punts. I think a lot of people are going to be done with faking on special teams, seeing how it's worked out for ourselves in Dallas the past couple of weeks. Here's a third down. Here's Sam Howell wide open. Got it. Cooper Kupp working down low. Lost the ball at the end, and it's picked up by Dallas. We'll definitely need a booth review on that, because I'm pretty sure Cooper Kupp had at least one knee down, if not everything down, before that ball came out. And yeah, that's going to be an overturn. That's going to be a first down. Drive continues for our Rams. Sam Howell, pocket collapses here, and he does a great job making sure that's not a sack. And that's actually going to be Sam Howell's first incompletion of the game. So he's definitely playing really well in relief. And it does make you wonder, if we did start Sam Howell, you know, would we have ever needed a fake field goal, right, to try to be heroic against the Philadelphia Eagles, or could we have just won that game in regulation? Because, I mean, Howell's executing. Like I said, we just need someone to execute the game plan. Get to C.J. Donaldson whenever you can. That obviously helps. And Donaldson's still a little banged up, so he hasn't really been too effective so far in this game. Sam slinging, picked off Jesse Bates. Oh, all the praise and accolades in the world, and Sam Howell throws it away. You know, that time we definitely got too greedy, trying to make a play, maybe feeling ourselves a little bit too much with the lead, and, you know, a little bit of shades of that game a couple of weeks ago against the San Francisco 49ers, where we probably got a bit, you know, too pass happy with a lead, a bit too aggressive, and yeah, we might just have to, you know, turn the off switch at some point on some of these aggressive passing plays. Just know when to go, know when to show, right? As CJ Baxter, he will get a gain of 4. We have 1:45 left in the first half. Dallas with a touchdown here could sneak back into a ball game that felt like a lost cause about 5 minutes into the action. But that's why these are 10-minute quarter games. There's a lot of time to make up lost ground as CJ Baxter gets a first down and an injury to Azariah Thomas, who is off to an impressive start this season. He'll be off the field for the next couple of plays. Fake screen for Baxter. Oh, man, Elijah Moore. He's making some tough grabs in this game so far. Rotorn's got the hit on. Not a good enough hit. It's a gain of 8. Clock keeps on moving. Dallas holding on to all their timeouts. Riley Leonard got it off to Moore once again. Elijah Moore proving to be Leonard's favorite target in this second quarter. Down to the 24-yard line. Leonard scanning, rolling, end zone. Out of the reach. Out of the reach, wasn't even caught anyways. Second down, Leonard once more under pressure. Benny the Bull stuffs Leonard for a big loss. A timeout by Dallas. Third down and a mile. Riley Leonard, this time the pocket. Oh man, at the last second falls apart. And that is what's so suffocating about this Rams defense. With our pass rush, you never know when time will be up. And even without our team leader defensively, Aaron Donald, it seems like we're just keeping it up, right? We put Gabe Hall in Aaron Donald's spot, and Gabe Hall is a capable player. And even, you know, sometimes we put DeForest Buckner in there, veteran player. He's still got a little bit left in the tank. It's not Aaron Donald, but we still have Brian Burns, we still have Byron Young, and we still have Rayshon Benny. And clearly Rayshon Benny is finding ways to dominate the game. What a throw by Howell. What a run by Ridley. Gotta get down here. Look at the time, and we get the timeout in with less than a second to spare. Sam Howell and Calvin Ridley, two backups, creating chaos, creating 3 points for our Rams as Chase McLaughlin back into the game. The bruised ribs feeling all right, the leg as good as ever. A 22-point lead for the Rams, who will also be receiving the opening possession of the second half. And hey man, we do what we had to do at the end of the halftime. We held the Cowboys at 3, and then we stole the 3 points right back on one broken play. And once again, man, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with what Sam Howell is doing. His accuracy, it's there. It's there every time. Even on the interception, he put it on target for my bad decision. Oh, that time he wasn't able to plant his feet and make the throw. Pressure got on him. Next play. Screen pass for Fleming. He's got the first down and a lot more than that. Julian Fleming, so dangerous with the ball in his hands. Taking the Rams to the 23-yard line. Here's Howell stepping, throwing in stride. Terry McLaurin walking away from Trayvon Diggs and setting up a goal to go at the 5. Howell pitching. This is Gibson for the touchdown. Antonio Gibson, now an afterthought in this running back rotation, sneaks into the game and waltzes his way in for 6. At this point now, the game has gotten away from the Dallas Cowboys. It's a 29-point deficit they face early in the third quarter. And this is not an explosive offense as we've seen today. This is a team that wants to rely on their running back to really ground and pound and control the pace. But we have, I mean, I just feel like we've been dominating this game in all 3 aspects: offense, defense, and even special teams, even with an injured kicker. It just feels like a really well put together performance by our Rams, and doing what we need to do against a team that entered today 1-5. Rayshon Benny is man, he is a madman out there. He got straight through to Riley Leonard, and he is really proving to be the heir apparent to Aaron Donald on this defensive line. If Aaron Donald has to hang it up next season, I mean, Rayshon Benny, he is that dude. Oh, I don't know what tripped up CJ. Maybe just a little bit gimpy after the injury in the first quarter. He's not really looking like the explosive CJ Donaldson we're used to. Thankfully, we haven't needed that CJ Donaldson as Sam Howell taken down on third down. Cornerback blitz there from Byron Murphy. He came in unblocked, and not really much Sam could do right there, and I don't really think there was anything open, even with, you know, the unblocked guy coming in. So that play was kind of dead in the water 6 ways this Sunday. You know, it's a 29-point lead, so we're just going to take our sack. As long as we don't fumble, it's all right. We'll just put our backs against the wall defensively, you know, put our safeties 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Just make sure we don't give up anything over the top and live with the results. Oh, man. Sometimes, though, Riley Leonard is going to throw a dime, and after the really cold start to the game, Leonard is starting to rack up the completions at the very least. He's finding a repertoire with some of his players, but his favorite receiver, Elijah Moore, is injured, so that's not going to help. Oh, Leonard just got that off. Baxter away from Devon Jackson. Devon Jackson has been surprisingly silent in this game. A lot of our usual playmakers aren't doing their usual things, but I mean, it just proves to the depth of this Rams team where, you know, in years past, we needed our playmakers because they were the only couple of guys capable of changing the game. Now, from 1 to 53, we got guys all over that can do something on any given play to change the game. Tony Pollard on the sweep. He's got a first down. He'll get into the red zone. The Dallas Cowboys just trying to get one touchdown. They're trying to climb a mountain that feels impossible to climber in. They're giving it a go, but you see how hard it is for them. They just don't have the weapons to, you know, dominate any matchup against our defense. And if you give us time to rush the passer, we'll get home. Third down, got a double Benny. Leonard going outside, wide open. Lambert Smith diving in for the touchdown. A coverage breakdown for sure. I probably fell in love with the user pass rush a little bit too much. I gotta try it out, man. Rayshon Benny's got these superstar abilities. Might as well put them to use because they're only useful when you user rush with them. So, you know, why not try it out and see if it works out? Maybe not on third down like that, but I figured third down I call match coverage, but clearly something broke in that cover 4 quarters. I don't know what it was, but, you know, we'll just probably not do that again on third down and 15. What? Like I said, in our week 4 game, you take these kind of games where you have big leads to learn lessons, not just offensively. It doesn't go one way, it goes both ways. Defensively, you can try out a lot of different schemes, a lot of different play calls as Sam Howell is going to run for the first down. And, you know, cover 4 quarters is not something we normally go to. I don't trust match in Madden that much to, you know, because as you guys saw right there, something just broke wide open and I couldn't tell you why. So yeah, you know, I'm not going to run that too often, but in a game like this, you know, let's run cover 4 quarters. Let's see if it works. You know, maybe it is something we go back to, but when it doesn't work, then it's like, all right, you know, we're probably not going to do it, but it's not going to cost us in a close game. Like those 4 interceptions ultimately didn't cost us in the Niners game. It's just like, all right, we learned stuff not to do in future games, and, you know, you just got to balance all of that. It's a 17-game, 18-week regular season. It's a lot of time to learn things, right? The Super Bowl is not being played today. Well, we got to prepare for those moments, and I think that's part of the reason why we have excelled so much so far in Madden 24 with the Los Angeles Rams. That mindset seems to be taking us a long way. Maybe other teams don't, you know, envision the game the same way we do. Third down and goal after CJ Donaldson lost about 50 yards on that run as Julian Fleming gets it back, and he's in for, what, the 3rd time today? Julian Fleming is racking up the touchdowns these days. It might be his 2nd touchdown. I think he just scored in that one go route earlier in the game, but hey, man, Julian Fleming's putting up numbers. It's all good here for our Los Angeles Rams. 5 minutes to go. I think at this point, we'll probably sub out some of our starters, maybe give them one more drive defensively. Offensively, we're definitely done with the starters. We're probably going to let Antonio Gibson clock the game out if we even get back on offense. So, yeah, we're going to go to a 6-1 mark after this game. Feeling very good about our squad right now, and you know, when you get to these kind of marks, you start thinking, you know, you never want to think ahead, right? You never want to think like, all right, so what are we going to do in the playoffs? The playoffs are never there. I would say you can never think about the playoffs until you get to 10 wins. If you get to 10 wins, then it's like, all right, like you're in a decent spot to make the playoffs. But at 7 wins, you start thinking about, all right, like where are we in the pecking order in the NFC conference? Who's near us and who do we have to look out for as far as competition for our division, for the conference, and at the very least for the final playoff spots. What's the floor? What's the ceiling for our team? The floor being, you know, who do we have to compete with for the 7th seed in the NFC conference? The ceiling, of course, being if we keep on winning games, who do we have to compete for perhaps the 1 seed in the NFC? Which clearly is not too important because our Rams have made it to 3 straight Super Bowls, being the 5 seed, the 7 seed, and the 3 seed. So we just pick a number out of a straw hat and just go with it. But it would be nice to get that off week. It really does help. Like, you know, even though you may think that off week doesn't matter, it really does. That bye week, that's one less game you got to play. The playoff games are so hard to play. You know, it'd be nice to get that one of these years, but like I said, we can't be thinking about stuff like that. It's just all about, all right, we got win number, or did I say 7? This is win number 6. This is week 7, so yeah, we got win number 6, and that's a pretty good benchmark to say right now that we are in the playoff race, right? We're definitely in that race for the rest of the season. It's just all about banging out some victories from here on out. But for now, we are going to officially secure this 6th win by taking a bend to the knee with Sam Howell getting out of here. So we will have Jalen Henderson back next week. That's good news, but I mean, shout out to Sam Howell because he set a pretty high benchmark for Jalen when he comes back. Jalen, he was a little bit iffy before the injury, not just in that game against San Francisco. Even before that, Jalen was not playing his best brand of football, and Sam Howell came in here and played a pretty clean game. Now, like I said before, we didn't really put Sam Howell in a position under pressure too much, but whenever we did, like last week, that drive against Philadelphia, he looked pretty good. So, you know, if Jalen gets hurt again, which, you know, with Jalen, it feels like it's going to happen at some point, I think we know what we have in Sam Howell a lot more than Robbie Ashford. So I feel comfortable going to Sam Howell in those situations whenever, you know, that situation comes back to us. And as far as, you know, no Aaron Donald, we're not going to have Aaron Donald for one more game after this one. But, I mean, without Aaron Donald, our defensive line proved that they can still get it done. We're not Aaron Donald merchants, right? I think we've proven that time and time again. We're not Aaron Donald merchants. It's just really, really good to have him. He makes the game a lot easier when he's in there. We got to work a little bit harder, but we love working hard with these Los Angeles Rams. We love a good bounce back victory like we got here today. So that'll do it for this video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed what you guys saw today. Subscribe for more Madden 24 online games. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you as always for watching.